Hi, I hope you're well. This is part of my Pilates for Runners series, and the name of today's session is Mobilise and Restore. So we'll be using the magic circle in parts to deepen stretches, to create more space and lengthen the body. And yeah, just really using this session as an opportunity to just open everything up and just feel great. You could do it on a rest day, you could do it after a run, or you could just do it if you're feeling a bit stiff and you just need to move your body really gently. Without further ado, we're going to come down to our backs, lying down in what we call a semi-supine position. Your feet are planted, your arms are to the sides of the body. Before we do anything, we're just going to check your position. So here we want to be in what we call neutral pelvis. So if you just place the heels of your hands on top of your hip bones, the bony parts of your pelvis, your index fingers to come together over where your pubic bone is, and you want that position now, you want those 3 points, those 3 bony landmarks, we call them, to be level, horizontal. And then once you feel as though you're level, you might need to just tilt back and forth to find that spot. Pop your head down. You want your feet a fist distance apart. They are parallel to one another and they're fairly close to you. We might adjust when we come into it. And then from there, we're going to actually start with a bit of breath work. So we found our position. I want you to now bring the heels of your hands to the sides of your rib cage. Your elbows are open wide. Your fingers are reaching to the ceiling. First things first, I want you to feel the weight of the back of your ribs in the mat, and I want you to keep that weight there. You're going to take a big breath in through the nose, expanding your rib cage, pushing out into the sides, into the heels of your hands, and into the back of the mat. And then as you exhale through the mouth, release, feel everything draw back together. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, expanding. And exhale to release. Final one of these. Inhale. And exhale to release. Then place your arms to the sides of the body. Your arms are pressing down. The fingers are almost trying to reach for your heels, so you've got energy in your arms. And then bringing awareness again to that neutral pelvis, that rib connection. Your abdominals are supporting that position. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, you're going to press your lower back down really actively into the mat. Curl your tailbone up to the ceiling and then just hold there. We're in a posterior tilt at the moment. We need to really bring awareness to the lower abdominals that are working to support this. And then inhale to return, tilting the pelvis back to neutral, feeling the weight of your tailbone. And again, we do that 2 more times. Exhale, really rounding the lower back. Inhale, releasing to neutral. Last one of these, then we make it a bit bigger. Exhale, really tilting. Feel as though your lower back is stretching out with this movement. And then into neutral as you inhale. Now we go again. We exhale, we curl, find that strong posterior tilt. Now really stand into your feet, press your arms down, use your hamstrings, glutes, inner thighs to start peeling your spine up with your abdominals. It's all working together. You're articulating your spine off the mat. At the top, find this sense of length through the front of your hips. Without shifting in your upper body, it's like you're trying to reach your knees past your toes. Breathe into it. And then as you exhale, roll down from your upper back first, your mid back, your lower back, finding neutral at the bottom. We're going to go again like that. Inhale and exhale. Posterior tilt first and then peel up and away. And you want that posterior tilt to be the focus. So at the top, it's not so much about height, it's about how much you can maximize that tilt. Think pubic bone to nose. Breathe in. And then exhale, roll down. 1 vertebra at a time, like you're melting your spine into the mat. Finding neutral at the bottom. And again, inhale and exhale, rolling up. Really standing into your feet, thinking about the way your feet are pressing into the mat.
big toe, little toe, and heel of each foot. They're like 3 points on a tripod, spreading the weight evenly between them. At the top of this one, stay here. As you inhale, reach your arms up and over, resting them on the floor behind you with your palms facing upwards, and then stabling your shoulders. You're going to exhale to roll your spine down from here. Keep reaching your arms behind you. Keep curling your tailbone on the way down. Finding neutral at the very last moment. As you inhale, your arms come back to the sides of the body. 2 more like that. Exhale, curling first, and then peeling up. Again, thinking about that maximum tilt in the pelvis. Inhale, arms reaching back. And exhale, rolling down. Really thinking of that pubic bone to nose cue now. Finding neutral at the last moment, arms come back to the sides of the body. We've got 1 more. Inhale to prepare, exhale to curl up. And you want to keep those inner thighs working to keep your knees a fist distance apart. If you feel like your knees are opening, that just means a little bit more inner thigh connection is needed. Inhale, arms reach back behind you. And for the final way down, just slow it down, really milk that movement. Exhaling down, 1 vertebra at a time is sinking into the mat, rounding the bottom of your spine as much as you can on the way, finding neutral at the last moment. Brilliant. Let's reach the arms up to the ceiling, turn the palms face one another and open your arms out wide. And then you're going to draw your abdominals down without tilting your pelvis too much. Bring 1 leg at a time into tabletop. Your knees are above your hips. Knees are at a right angle and the hips are at a right angle. Inner thighs stay squeezing together like you're holding a credit card between your knees. You don't want to lose it. You're going to inhale to rotate your legs over to the right. At the same time, the left side of your rib cage is pulling down in opposition. And then you exhale, lead with the left side of your waist to pull the legs back into the center. Obliques are working hard here. We go the other way. Inhale up and over to the left. At the same time, thinking of the right side of your waist, trying to anchor down as much as it can. Exhale, pull back into the center. Just 1 more each way of these. Inhale to the right. And exhale back to the center. And to the left. Inhale. And exhaling back. And then pause. Place 1 foot down. Place the other foot down. And now grab your circle. So you're going to place the top pad of the circle against the ball of your foot. You want your toes to be fairly free because we're going to be thinking about pushing into the ball of the foot here. You do want to make sure that you can push, point and flex. So just find the spot that feels right. And then once you're there, stretch the opposite leg away. Find a downward push into that leg that's down on the mat. Lengthening away, the knee is straight. Think of opening out the front of that hip. I've got my right foot in the circle, so it's my left leg that's down. And your hands are into the bottom pad of the circle, your elbows are wide, your shoulders are connected into your back. To begin, you're just going to push into the circle, reaching, really lengthening through the front of your foot. So we're in plantar flexion, which is essentially that pointed foot position, but it's more about the ankle joint rather than the toes. So my toes are fairly relaxed, but I'm pushing the foot away from the ankle. And then I'm going to maximize that push here. And then I'm going to inhale to now flex the ankle. So my heel pushes up to the ceiling. And then I exhale to push into the ball of the foot. Inhale to flex. I'm going to do that another 4 times, going slowly and thinking about articulating through the foot, using the circle to deepen that resistance, thinking about all that strong work through the ankle joint. As you push the foot away, pull down into the circle, create your own opposition. Let's go for 2 more. Exhaling. Last one. And then you'll find that deep dorsiflexion, that flexed ankle. You'll hold when you get there. We want now the heel to be directly above your sitting bone, so we're not pulling it too close. And it's really vertical. And then I want you to use the circle to pull down and think of driving your heel down into the sitting bone, keeping the pelvis heavy. You're going to hold here and breathe into it. Loads of stretch through the back of the leg now. Taking another 3 breaths here. Last breath here. And then keep the circle in your left hand. Release your right arm, open it wide. And then I want you to keep the right hip as heavy as you can as you pull your leg across your body. Think of pulling your right foot towards your left armpit while pushing the right hip down at the same time. Deep, deep IT band stretch here. You're going to hold and you're going to breathe into it for another 3 breaths. And then into the center. And then you switch hands, right hand to the pad, left hand releases and just bring it to the top of your left hip, keeping the hip stable. You're now going to open the right leg out towards the right. Again, think of pulling it upwards towards your armpit and down. And you want to only open as wide as your hips don't need to move. So you'll feel the left hip wants to lift. We want to resist that. When you feel an inner thigh stretch, you hold it there for 3 more breaths. Bit of a balancing act, this one. Last breath here. And then back into the center. Bend the knee slightly, then push it away from you. You might need to just release one hand to do this. You're then going to bring your left leg in. You're going to cross it over so you've got it crossed against your right thigh. And then we're going to find a figure 4 stretch. Now, this is very proportion dependent. If you've got long legs and short arms, this might not be great with the circle. Drop the circle, do it without. Otherwise, keep hold of the circle, find a downward push into the circle pad through that right foot. And then I want you to focus on keeping your pelvis as heavy as you can here, keeping the tailbone heavy. I've released my left hand, so I'm now going to push into my left inner thigh to deepen that stretch. I'm going to stay here for another 3 breaths. It's one of those where if you let the pelvis curl into that posterior tilt where your tailbone's curled upwards, it's not going to feel as deep in the glute. 1 more breath here. And then unravel. Keep your foot into the circle. Just stretch your left leg back away. And then we're going to find that plantar flex position again. So you're going to lengthen through the front of your foot. And then keep the foot in that position. Take one hand to the side, the other hand to the side. So you're now holding about halfway up or thereabouts, wherever feels good. I'm not quite halfway actually, about a third of the way. And then I want you to connect your shoulders into your back. We're now going to do climb a tree, which is from the reformer work. So you can inhale to find a chest lift. Curl your chest forward and then keep pushing your leg forward. Keep pushing your foot into the pad to start to articulate your spine up. And then at the top, we want to open the chest, pull your foot towards you, bend your elbows, collarbones wide. And then you're going to exhale to release, stretching the arms back. You're going to roll your spine down, landing with your foot reaching to the ceiling. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So you inhale to lift. Abdominals draw down and back as you roll up. And then at the top, find a V shape. Crown of the head is lifting up, opening the chest. And then exhale, releasing it all back down, bringing the leg with you. Head comes down. We've got 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Lift and open, pulling really big stretch through the hamstring here. And then exhale, rolling down with control. And then at the bottom, soften that right knee. Stretch the right leg all the way away. We're going to do the whole same thing on the second side now. So the ball of your left foot is in the pad. You're going to push that leg up and away. Again, just find a spot where you can feel that the toes are fairly free, but you can also articulate and push into the pad. Finding a downward push through your right leg. You're going to really, really just pull down into the circle as much as feels comfortable here. And then when we're ready, we're going to do 5 points and flexes. So we're going to exhale to push into the ball of the foot to lengthen the front of the foot. Inhale, deeply flex, push your heel to the ceiling. And again, exhale. Inhaling to flex. 3 more here. Plantar flexion, that length at the front of your ankle. Dorsiflexion, heel pushes up. 2 more. And exhale. Last one. Exhaling. And then stay in dorsiflexion. Again, check that the foot is directly above your hip. And then we don't want to be pulling towards us. We want to now use the circle to pull down. Think of driving from the heel down into your sitting bones and stay there for 3 more breaths. And then we take the pad just into the right hand, left arm opens wide, and then you pull the leg across the body while keeping the left hip pulling down to the floor. When you feel the IT band stretch, you hold it. I am tighter on this side, so I'm not getting as far. 3 breaths. And then bringing the leg back into the center, switching hands. Right hand comes on top of the hip. Keep that right hip as heavy as you can now as you open the left leg out and up until you find that inner thigh stretch. It will always feel different one side to the other. Once you've got it, hold it. 3 breaths. Have to really work actively to hold everything still in this. Last breath. And then pulling back into the center. And then from here, we're going to go into our figure 4 stretch. So I'm going to take my right hand off the pad so that I can bring the right leg in, crossing the leg over the thigh. And then I'm going to keep hold of the pad with my left hand, pushing down into the pad with my left foot. I'm trying to get my tailbone as heavy as I can. And then I'm going to now gently push into my right inner thigh to deepen that stretch. And then hold here for 3 breaths. Last breath. And then unravel the leg. Stretch your right leg away, rest it down on the mat. Bring both hands to the pads, to the circle, and you're going to walk up. Again, I was about halfway, so I reckon it'll be about the same. You're going to plantar flex the foot again, so that length at the front of your ankle. And then we're going to connect the shoulders into the back. You're going to inhale to lift your head, neck, chest, rolling your spine up, keeping all that strong connection through your arms. At the top, bend your elbows, pull the leg towards you, lift the collarbones or open the collarbones wide. And then you exhale, release it down with control. You're articulating your spine down to the mat. Leg is coming with you. Head comes down. We're doing that 2 more times. Inhaling to lift, rolling up, pulling your ribs back behind you as you roll up. And then at the top, opening, pulling the leg in. Exhaling, rolling it all back down. Last one. Inhale. And open, collarbones wide. And exhaling, rolling down. And then soften the knee. Stretch your legs away. Bring your legs together. Take hold of both pads in the circle. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Just finding a light squeeze in those pads. Think of the arm connection into your back. And then stretch your arms behind you as far as the circle they'll go with the circle in your hands. Draw your ribs down, inner thighs together. We're going to do 2 rounds of the roll up. So you're going to inhale to lift your arms, head, neck, chest. So very similar to what we were just doing with the climber tree. Arms reaching forward. Now exhale as you roll up, Pull your abdominals back behind you. We're in our C curve here, rounding through the spine. At the top, reaching your arms forward as your ribs pull back. Think of pulling your sternum up so we're not collapsing here. Breath in. And then exhale to roll back down, tilting the pelvis underneath you to connect your lower back, mid back. Arms come up, they reach behind, head comes down. One more like that. Inhale. And exhale, rolling up. Really nice. Inhale at the top, nice and tall. And exhale to roll back down. Reaching. And then we've got half a roll up just to come to seated. Inhale. And exhale, pull your lower back backwards here as you roll forward. And then at the top, keep hold of the circle, just sit tall. Like you're sitting against a wall. Flex your feet, open them to mat width. Think of the back of your head being in line with that imaginary wall as well. We're going to do 3 rounds of spine stretch. Breathing in. As you exhale, nod your chin forward and then feel your upper back peel forward away from that imaginary wall. Then your mid back, then your lower back. Think of reaching forward rather than down, like you've got a beach ball underneath your chest. You're rolling over it. Breath in. And then exhale to restack your spine through your lower back, mid back, upper back, head up. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale to roll, pulling your ribs back as you roll forward. Inhale and exhale, lifting back up. If you do this properly, it feels like hard work, but it's really good for us. Last one. Inhale and exhale to roll and reach. Exhale, curling back up, restacking, finding that vertical position, trying not to overshoot it at the top, and then relax. Drop the circle. Let's turn around side on. I'm going to do a little bit of rotation. We're going to do Mermaid from the Reformer. No circle for this. I prefer it without because I think you can just connect into the work a bit more. So my legs are in a zigzag position. I've got my left shin pointing towards the far end of my mat. My right shin is in line with the front of my mat. Arms are open wide, T position. I want to just take a moment here to try and get both sitting bones as heavy as they can be. It's quite tricky in this position. Thinking of being really upright here. Now your spine, I want you to imagine you've got a pole running through the middle of your head, chest, pelvis. You're going to keep the spine in that straight line as you inhale and hinge over to the right until your fingertips touch the mat. Now stay in this straight position. You're going to exhale to rotate around the pole to reach. As you do, I want you to try and square your shoulders towards the mat. And then you're going to rotate back facing forwards, lift it back up. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale to hinge, exhale to rotate and reach. Inhale, rotating back facing forward. Exhale, lifting back up. Last one. Feels so good. Inhale. Exhaling, rotate. Inhale, facing back forward. Exhale, lifting up. Lovely. Keep your arms lifted. Swivel your legs around so the opposite side will go straight into side 2. Checking that you're really upright. Checking that the hips are both heavy. Going to inhale to the left. And then exhale. Rotate through the waist. Arm just reaches around with you. I'm tighter on this side. Inhale, facing back forward. Exhale, lifting back up. 2 more. Inhale as you hinge, thinking about all that opposition through the right hip. As you exhale and rotate, really trying to stabilize through your center. Inhale, back facing forward. Exhale, lifting back up. Last one. Inhale. Exhaling to rotate. Inhale, forward. Exhaling up. Lovely. Uncross your legs and then come into a 4-point kneeling position. Hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. We're in a neutral spine, lengthened from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Your abdominals are drawing up. Your shins and the top of your feet are pressing down into the mat. You're pressing also into your fingertips as well as the heels of your hands. And then we're going to take a breath in here. As you exhale, really deeply tuck your tailbone, pull your abdominals up to flex your spine, really rounding your spine, dropping the crown of your head to look towards your thighs. And then come back into your neutral position and then find extension in your upper back while keeping your lower back as still as you can. So we're trying not to dump into the lower back. Think of sliding your shoulder blades down your back. Finding neutral. We're going to do that 2 more times. So exhale to really round the lower back and flex. Tailbone curls forward between your legs. And then into neutral. Inhaling into extension. Breastbone forward. Collarbones wide. 1 more each way. Exhaling. And this is all about the lumbar flexion here. The rest of your spine and your head are just responding to that rounding. And then as you come into neutral, inhale, get into upper back extension. Here it's really about all that deep, deep upper back work. And then finding neutral. Good. Stay on your knees, just come to a high kneeling position. I'm going to step back slightly. And you want your feet and knees to be hip width. Your knees are directly underneath your hips. Now we're going to look at the pelvis position in a moment, but first things first, bring your hands to your hips and just step your right foot forward. And we are aiming for a right angle in the knee, and the front knee and back knee actually. Your back knee is underneath your hips, front shin is vertical. So we've got 2 little square shapes going on here. Now that we've got the position in your legs, bring your hands back to your hips. I want you to really, really lengthen your tailbone down to the floor as much as you can. By doing so, you should start to feel a really deep stretch at the front of your left hip through the hip flexor. Once you've got that, I want you to stay there and just breathe into it. 3 breaths. If you're not quite feeling it, tuck your tailbone even more. Last breath here. And then switch sides. Right foot back, left foot forward. Again, just finding that position. The position is everything here. And then once you feel like you've got it, really tuck your tailbone downwards. Think of trying to lengthen the front of your hip as much as you can by lengthening the tailbone down towards the floor. And then once you've got it, checking your hips are square, pointing forward as well. 3 breaths. Last breath here. And then step the left knee back. We're going to stay in high kneeling for a moment longer. I want you to now find that strong tailbone position that we just had. So that posterior tilt, that sense of lengthening your tailbone down to the floor, it requires your glutes to work as well as that opening through the front of your hips. Now you're going to try and keep that. You're going to keep a downward push into your shins and your feet. I want you to now bring your hands together, interlace your fingers behind your back, elbows are wide. Go as high up as you can here. It'll be different for everyone. And then from here, just again, check back in with your lower back and your pelvis. Now we're going to try and keep the lower body still as we do this. I want you to take a breath out here. And then as you inhale, I want you to stretch your knuckles down towards the floor and open your chest. Think of pushing your chest up to the ceiling. Look up to the ceiling, really stretching out the top of your spine. And then you're going to exhale, release, look back forward, bring the hands back up your back, elbows are bent. We're going to do that another 3 times. You're going to inhale, reach your knuckles to the floor, open your chest, collarbones wide, push your breastbone to the ceiling. And exhale to release. So this is like a prep for double leg kick, which is one of the traditional Pilates exercises on the mat. 2 more. Inhale, chest up, keeping the lower body stable. And exhale, release. It's quite hard. Last one. Inhale, reaching the knuckles down, pushing your chest up. And exhale to release. Let go.
Come to lie down on your front. So I'm just going to very quickly unclip my mic because you won't be able to hear me otherwise. And then we're going to grab the circle for the final thing for doing in this session. So you're going to have your circle just in front of you. One pad down on the floor, other pad is up towards the ceiling. You want to have your hands on top of the top pad of the circle. And ideally in this position, we've got straight elbows. It's going to be different for everyone where you will be here. What I do want is I want you to be trying to press down as little as possible. So try and let that circle just be light and airy. Think of your shoulder blades sliding down your back. Lengthen your tailbone towards your toes. I want you to take a breath in here. Sorry, breath out. And then as you inhale, start to lift your eye line up, your neck, your upper back, and then start to push down into the circle from your shoulders to deepen that extension. And then you're going to keep your chest lifted up as you release the circle first, and then let your chest follow down. This is from the Wonder Chair. We're going to do this 2 more times. So circle stays light and airy initially as you inhale. Head, neck, upper back. Now start to push down into the pad, deepen that lift. Draw your abdominals up. And then keep your head lifted to the ceiling as you release tension on the circle. And then follow down with the spine. Last one. Inhale to lift. Use that breath in to create space in your spine. Push down into the circle. Collarbones wide, shoulders down. And then release the circle first. Chest follows down. At the bottom, drop the circle. Push back into a rest position. Sit on your heels. Reach your arms long in front of you. Really stretching. Reach into your fingertips. And breathe into your back. Taking a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, walk your hands towards your knees. Gently push the ground away. Coming all the way back up to seated. And we're done for the stretch session, or I should say mobilise and restore to use its proper name. So that's it. If you have any questions about what we did, or if you have any requests for anything else, get in touch. And I also have a library, on-demand library with like 250 plus videos on it. So if you enjoyed this, there's plenty more over there. I'll leave the link below. I hope to see you in a session soon. Bye.